Okay, if you decide to become an entrepreneur, you got to persuade your family, okay, to actually support you and your business, you and your journey. Okay, you got to be able to persuade your husband or your wife, right, to be able to support you. Okay, you've got to be able to persuade your kids to do their homework. You've got to be able to persuade employees to come and work for you if you just started a company. You've got to be able to persuade investors in the early stages of your company. You've got to be able to persuade people to come sell a product. Guys, the first thing I want you to do is, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, is go ahead and hit the like button, hit the comment button, subscribe. If you're getting any sort of value from this channel, if you're getting any sort of value from these calls, be a blessing to somebody else. Share this out, but don't keep it to yourself, and definitely follow us here on the journey. But guys, the first thing I want to do, I don't want to really waste any time. I want to get into the purpose of these calls. You know, every single one of you, whether you're watching the replay, whether you're watching it live, no matter what platform you're seeing it on, I believe that you've got some goals. Okay, am I correct in saying that? Somebody drop an AOTK in the chat box. I believe that you've got some goals. I believe that you want to win in life. I believe that you're different. I believe that, you know, you truly have a vision and a purpose over your life. And the purpose of these calls is to give people two things: success principles and God principles. We really believe that they're one and the same. Okay, the goal is to show people that if you practice God's principles, hold on, you can participate in his promises. Okay, and we're going to give you the applicable. I'm not talking about hocus pocus. I'm not talking about, you know, just motivation. I'm not talking about just hype and fluff. How many guys are excited to have been really getting some real substance? Okay, substance, applicable things, things that you can actually apply, things that can actually help you win. Okay, I'm going to get into some of those things here today. I'm not going to waste any more time. But guys, listen, if you don't have a pen and notepad, if you are in a place, I highly recommend you write this down. But obviously, we're here every single Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern until further notice. But the topic for today is high performance skills. Somebody type skills in the chat box. Come on, somebody type skills in the chat box. Let me tell you guys something that I heard a while ago and it stuck with me. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. So no matter what you want to accomplish, what you want to achieve, you're going to need some skills. Okay. We focus a lot here on this platform around principles, things that are going to be applicable in more areas than one, and more businesses than one. Okay. In the lives of multiple people, not just one. Okay, so if you're ready to hear about some high performance skills, okay, somebody type skills. You got to type it just like that, skills. Okay, type that in the chat box for me. Come on, man. And if you guys are on Facebook and Instagram, I see you hit the like button. Let me know that you can hear me. Okay, we're going to get into some skills. Guys, persuasion. Okay, can I talk about persuasion is number one? No matter what you're doing in life, if you really want to succeed at a high level, remember, we're talking about high performance skills. We're not talking about average person skills. We're not talking about the skills of those who are not very successful, but rather we're talking about high performance skills. What are high performance skills? Number one is persuasion. So you've got to be able to persuade your family. Okay, if you decide to become an entrepreneur, you got to persuade your family, okay, to actually support you and your business, you and your journey. Okay, you got to be able to persuade your husband or your wife, right, to be able to support you. Okay, you've got to be able to persuade your kids to do their homework. You've got to be able to persuade employees to come and work for you if you just started a company. You've got to be able to persuade investors in the early stages of your company. You've got to be able to persuade people to come sell a product, right? How many guys have ever been in a position where you've needed to persuade? If you don't know, I hope that now you know. Whether you're good at it or not, you've still had to experience this in your life. You've got to be able to persuade people. You've got to persuade a leadership team. You've got to be able to negotiate, right? And use persuasion in the midst of negotiations. You've got to be able to persuade yourself to work when you're not excited, okay? How many guys see the power in persuasion? Guys, can I tell you about me, right? 6.5 years that I've been in business. And one of the best things I ever did, not for my business, but for my life, was increase my power and ability to persuade. Okay. It is extremely important. If you want to succeed at the massive level, want to succeed at the high level, you've got to have the ability to go out there and persuade. And again, it's not just in business. This is life. Okay. You've got to be able to go out there into the marketplace and be able to persuade. You got to be able to cast a vision and persuade people why it makes sense. Because guess what? If you don't have the ability to persuade, no one will ever follow you. If you don't have the ability to persuade, no one will ever listen to you. How many guys have seen a master in persuasion at work? How many guys have ever seen that person before? Everything they do, they're able to persuade other people to do it with them. Everything they do, for some reason, they're able to get people to follow them. Every time they have an idea and they talk to you about it, something about the way they bring that thing across, it's like, man, I want to listen to him. I want to listen to her. How many guys have ever experienced that? Type AOTK in the chat box. Okay, that's called persuasion, guys. How many guys would love to have that ability, right? Okay, that ability is the ability of a high performer. Winners, they know how to persuade. Winners, they know how to go out there, okay, and get other people to do what it is that's in their best interest, okay? How many guys understand what it is that I'm saying so far, okay? If you got it, somebody type of AOTK in the chat box. We're going to move forward. Number 2 is discernment. What is discernment? Okay. And we coming fast this morning. We might be here 25 more minutes. So lock in with me, focus. If you haven't shared the link, one more time, share the link. Okay. Discernment, ladies and gentlemen, is the ability to recognize difference. Can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is so important. It's so crucial. I cannot stress it enough. You've got to have the ability to recognize difference. Okay. What do I mean difference? Difference in people. Okay. Difference in customers and in talent. Let me give you some real applicable examples. Well, if you've ever been in business, by the way, do I have any entrepreneurs on the call? I got any business people? Yes or yes? Okay, I got any entrepreneurs on the call? Any business people? Yes or yes? Guys, as an entrepreneur and a business person, how many guys have went out there and maybe you're not an entrepreneur, maybe you're not a business person, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say, how many guys have ever felt like somebody has kind of did you wrong before? Yes? Right? Let me put it this way in a way that everybody can understand. How many guys been in the relationship that didn't work? How many guys ever been around some people, right, that maybe you're not around any longer? Why is that? Okay, well, that's only for you to know. But the point is this, you know what you don't want in a relationship now. You know what you don't want in a friend now. You know what you don't want in a business now. Okay, so what have you been able to develop through those failures? What have you been able to develop through those trials? You've been able to develop your discernment. Successful people, high performers particularly, they know how to discern a good business opportunity from a bad one. They know how to discern, okay, who to invest time into and who not to. How many guys have ever poured time into somebody and it ended up being a waste? How many guys ever poured some time into something and you wasted a year of your life you can't ever get back? Which, by the way, if you take the perspective I like to take, you didn't really lose that time. You learn from it and you develop your discernment. Okay, you've got to be able to discern, ladies and gentlemen, what the customers are saying and they're not saying. Listen, I come from a sales background, and I can't even count the amount of closing calls that I've been on, the amount of sales calls that I've been on. And a lot of the time when someone tells you no, they're telling you no because of the reasons that they are saying, but they're also telling you no because of the reasons that they're not saying. Okay, so when you have discernment, ladies and gentlemen, you can recognize, oh, body language, they're uncomfortable. Oh, body language, right? Maybe they don't have the money, right? Oh, maybe based upon the way this person is behaving, maybe they're a little confused. Maybe they're not that sure. Maybe they don't trust me. But this is discernment, ladies and gentlemen. You have to develop this skill. Okay, if you're mentoring, if you're in the business of mentoring individuals, you've got to know how to actually identify, wow, I didn't have to tell her. to reach out to me. I didn't have to tell him to show up to the meeting. I didn't have to necessarily tell this person to put in work. They already have the work ethic. Let me work with him. Let me work with her. How many guys are picking up what it is that I'm putting down? Type of AOTK in the chat box. Let me know if it's making sense. You have to be able to discern. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, okay, you will spend your time frivolously with wrong business opportunities, with wrong people. Okay, you've got to be able to discern, ladies and gentlemen, right? What's positive and what's negative, right? You got to be able to give people information for where they're at. Let me tell you something. One thing I used to do in business, right, is I used to give people information they didn't need. I would give level 1 people level 10 information, but let me show you guys something, okay? So you've got this cup. This cup is a person, right? So this cup is a person, and this person has a what? A capacity, okay? So watch this. If you're gonna pour into somebody's cup, if you're gonna pour into somebody in you know, invest time into them, invest energy into them, invest money and resources into them. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? If this is their capacity, if I keep pouring into this glass, eventually what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? If I keep pouring past the brink, if I keep pouring past the brim, okay, what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody type that answer in the chat box. Okay, if you're following me, hit the like button if you're on Facebook and Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to overflow. Why is it going to overflow? Why? Because it's reached capacity. So can you discern when to stop pouring into a person? Can you discern when to give them enough information and not too much? Okay, that's discernment, ladies and gentlemen. Does that make sense? Right? If you don't know how to discern, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to waste your time, again, on the wrong things, wrong people, wrong business, wrong product, wrong service, if you don't have discernment. Ladies and gentlemen, impact over income. Let's talk about it. Individuals who are highly successful, high performers, they're able to help others get what it is that they want, to help them get what it is that they want. Okay, let me say that a little bit slower. Listen, I understand, ladies and gentlemen, that if I help others get what they want, God will help me get what it is that I want. Make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat box. You see, massive success happens, ladies and gentlemen, when opportunities are created for multiple people, not just one. Does that make sense? So when you look at a large operation, I see you, Myra. When you look at a large operation, Roman, Ricky, I see you, Henry, I see you. Okay, multiple opportunities are created, not just for one person. Okay, let me give you an example. You have a company like Apple. Apple is a large company, but the CEO of Apple, is he the only one making money? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's got employees, ladies and gentlemen. He's got an entire organization, ladies and gentlemen. He's got buildings, okay, stationed all around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So as a CEO really just stands for creating every opportunity. And when you create opportunities for other people, guess what? People want to do business with you more. Guess what? People want to be around you more. Guess what? People want to be in your circle and your proximity more. How many guys got that friend? You've got that person who, when you get around them, you just start to progress. You just start to get better. You just start to win a little bit bigger. How many guys ever experienced that? Yes or yes? You got that friend in your circle. You've got that person who's in your proximity. And every time you get around them, you know you get closer to your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, that's impact over income. And guess what? Impact drives the income. So when you can impact other people's lives and help them get what they want, guess what? Automatic. It's automatic. Okay. You're going to get more of what it is that you want. Okay. But the person that's focused on me, I want to get my money. I want to focus on my bag. Guess what? You're not doing anything for other people. And when you don't do anything for other people, people don't want to do business with you. They don't want to buy from you. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. Okay. And when you can put money back into somebody else's pocket or a result in somebody's life, guess what? That's going to drive business. Leverage. Okay. Let me tell you something. John D. Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of my own efforts. That's leverage, ladies and gentlemen. That's leverage, right? So give you an example, guys. Focus when I say this. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather own, no, watch this. Would you rather work in a McDonald's and flip the burgers? Or ladies and gentlemen, would you prefer to own the McDonald's? Somebody let me know in the chat box. Would you rather work in the McDonald's or would you rather own the McDonald's? Okay, I'm sure you're saying, oh, of course I'd rather own the McDonald's. Let me take it a step further. How many guys which would you prefer? Would you prefer to own the McDonald's? Or would you prefer to own multiple McDonald's on every single block? You would want to own multiple McDonald's. Why is that the case? Because, ladies and gentlemen, what you all realize, maybe without realizing it, is that earning on the efforts of other people is going to allow you to have time freedom and money freedom. When I understood that the most successful people have a team behind them, I got excited. I said, wait a minute, all I got to do is build a team. Because if I can build a team, guess what? I can have that beach money. I can be sipping how many guys want to be on the beach, sipping a pina colada, okay? And you're still building your wealth. You're still driving your income, okay? That's called leverage. Is this about one business? No, it's not. I'm giving you a concept. It doesn't matter how you structure it. But successful people, big winners, big players, they always have the ability, okay, to earn on the efforts of other people. If you're just trading time for money, well, guess what? One day we're all going to run out of what? Time. So leverage is a skill of a high performer. They know that they need a team to scale. They can't do it all by themselves. People that have to do it all by themselves, they don't make it very far, right? They usually work until the day they die, okay? They usually, if they have money, and really it's difficult to get a lot of money, right? When you're just trading time for money. But if you get a lot of money, guess what? You don't have your time. Okay. Leverage. It's about doing what you do best and outsourcing the rest. Okay. So listen, if you know that you do this thing really well, guess what? Maybe get a team and have them do those things that they do very well. Okay. And everybody focuses on what they can do best. Recruiting, right? Is one thing you might want a team for. Sales is something you might want a team for. Social media is something you might want to create some leverage in. You might want to create leverage through your branding, through your marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, how many guys getting value so far? Before I continue, let me make sure, hit that, go ahead and type an AOTK in the chat box. If you're on social media, somebody hit the like button and we are going to continue. Guys, recruiting. Oh, I love this. You know why? Because people oftentimes think that word recruiting is a dirty word. Let me tell you, it's the best word ever. Why? Because life is about recruiting, ladies and gentlemen. I listen, guys, I used to suck at recruiting. I was very bad, very bad. How many guys, when you hear that word recruiting or when you think about recruiting, maybe you get a little bit, you're just like, I don't know. How many guys get a little bit hesitant when you hear the word recruiting? You hear recruiting and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Let me help you. All of the professional sports teams recruit. Okay. All of the pro sports teams, they recruit. The military recruits. Can I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want the woman of your dreams? Fellas, how many of y'all want the woman of your dreams? Some of y'all already found a woman. Congratulations. Fellas, how many girls, ladies, how many guys want to find the man of your dreams? Some of you already found him. Awesome, amazing. Let me help you understand something. If you can become an incredible recruiter, you can actually recruit the woman or the man of your dreams. It's recruiting. It's recruiting. You recruit them to come on a date with you. You recruit them once they get in the relationship with you to stay in the relationship with you. It's recruiting. Okay. If you're actually running a company, you're recruiting a sales team. You got to recruit people to come and move your product or service to the marketplace. Okay, recruiting is life, right? Everywhere I go, I'm recruiting all day, every day. I'm recruiting. If you get in my space, I'm likely recruiting you to think maybe how I think, right? But guess what? There's always some recruiting going on at every conversation, every exchange. One person is recruiting the other person into a way of thinking, into, a business, into an organization, into supporting them. The church recruits. How many guys have been to church? They start recruiting you. Yeah, awesome. They start talking to you. They start finding. It's recruiting, right? Who do you want to recruit? Executives, a media team, salespeople, high identity associations. Guys, you don't just get successful people in your circle because you look cute. You get successful people in your circle because you recruited them there through something that you did, said, or made them feel. An advisory board, you recruit mentors. Come on, I get excited about that. When you're talking about mentors, you have to recruit a mentor. Mentor's not going to recruit you. They might recruit you into a business. They might recruit you into a program, but you have to recruit them, okay, to actually mentor you. There's a difference between mentorship, coaching, and just being in proximity. Okay, there's a difference, right? They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. What does it mean for the student to be ready? You did some things that recruited that mentor into your life. I love that. And I get excited about that because when you talk about a mentorship is wisdom without waiting. Okay? Mentorship is wisdom without the wounds. Whatever you do, and I'm not going to go into a tangent, that'll be for another call, but whatever you do, you should have a mentor. There's no way you shouldn't have a mentor if you're trying to succeed at anything. I tell my family, hey, you want to do this? You want to succeed in this field? Yo, you need to get a mentor. I tell my friends, yo, you want to pursue that? Yo, get a mentor. Don't just start going in that. But how do you get the mentor? Because everybody wants a mentor. Everybody wants a mentor's time. Everybody want to get next to the person who's winning and succeeding. What are you going to do to set yourself apart? This is something that I love. I've done it again and again and again to gain the favor of very highly successful individuals. I've recruited them into my life. I can't count the amount of millionaires that are in my phone. I've recruited them into my circle, into my network. Okay, recruiting, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be able to recruit partners, investors. Guys, if you just started a business, you got to recruit somebody into supporting you. You have no track record, no results. Why would they join you unless you recruited them? Okay, why do we recruit as high performers? The reason why we recruit as high performers is because we know that you're one person away from an explosion. If you really understood that, you would never stop recruiting. If you knew that you could recruit an association, recruit somebody into your network, recruit a mentor, and you truly knew the value on that, how that one person could transform your life forever, you would never stop recruiting. Guys, if you're getting some value, type of AOTK in the chat box. We're going to move forward, but I need to know that you locked in with me. Somebody let me know something. Myra's still locked in. Henry's locked in. I see Facebook is locked in. Come on, man. I see you guys on Zoom locked in. The best thing you can do is share this with somebody else. We'll be live for like 15 more minutes. Okay. Energy management. Okay. Guys, energy management. Why is that important? Listen, how many guys ever wanted to pursue a dream? You wanted to pursue a business and it was difficult. Why was it difficult? Because you only got so much time and energy in a day. How many guys ever came home from your 9-to-5 job and you said, am I really going to work on that business? Nah, I'm going to go to sleep. Okay. Nah, I'm about to Netflix, right? I'm about to kick back and just watch some Netflix. I'm about to kick back and just surf the web. I'm going to get on YouTube. Okay. How many guys ever lack the energy to get up and go out and network? You lack the energy, okay, to actually pick up the phone and make phone calls if that's what it is that you do. How many guys ever lack that energy? Because you were maybe you're a mother on this call, and you spend so much time with the babies, with the kids, that it's like, yo, like I don't know if I have the energy. I'm waking up every 2 hours throughout the night. Then I gotta go to work, and then I gotta work this business on the side. That's a tall order. How many guys ever been there? Okay, you still gotta have a social life, right? You're in a relationship. Okay. You're involved in the church, all these things. And it's like, I don't know, how do I have the energy? How do I do it? I know for me, one of the biggest things was somehow finding, watch this. I got to ask somebody on the call, how many guys love y'all sleep? How many guys love your sleep? I love my sleep. And when I don't get my sleep, how many guys, you're a little different when you don't get your sleep? Okay. Okay. I would tell you this. Some people is grumpy. For me, I am just lacking, uh, lacking energy, you know, you get real quiet. You just don't, you're not that social. You're not yourself. You're not the extrovert that you know you can be. You're real reserved. You don't really show up as your best self. That's all due to energy management. It's due to the food that you put in your body. It's due to your exercise habits, right? Maybe if you want to have more energy, maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe you need to stop putting garbage in your body. Maybe you need to listen. If you're sitting at the desk and you feel yourself dozing off, or you're sitting at the desk and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't make another phone call. Maybe you need to know when to get up and walk around the block just to get that energy back up. Me, I love cold showers. Why do I love cold showers? Well, there's several reasons. The mental aspect of it, it's difficult, right? It challenges you. Everybody's not doing it. But the thing I love as well is it shocks the body and it wakes you up. It has you alert, okay? Gives you energy, right? So all of these things actually play a role into your energy management. Guys, most people can't go for long. How many guys seen somebody burn that midnight oil and you're like, man, you're just a workaholic. I don't know how you work all the way past midnight. How many guys seen somebody at work? How many of you guys been at work and you're making phone calls, you're on a computer taking care of the administrative work, you're processing papers, and you can just do it and do it and do it and do it and do it all through the night and get back up and do it again. Well, guess what? If you're doing that, great. If you know somebody that's doing that, great. Can I tell you, most people can't do that for long. They go all in, right? And then they take off for a short period of time. They pull back for a short period of time. You got to know how to get some endurance. Somebody type endurance in the chat box. Somebody type endurance in the chat box. You got to know how to get some endurance. Guys, processing issues is, as we come to a close here, okay, as we're nearing the end of this call, processing issues. Listen, high performers, they're aware of how to process issues quickly. They're solution oriented. How many guys been around somebody and they're so draining? They're so draining. They find the problem in everything. How many guys been around somebody and you're trying to believe and you're like, yes, this is what's about to take place. This is what's about to happen. Man, listen, I'm excited about this. Girl, listen, what I'm about to do. And they're like, but what about this? But there's a problem with this. But there's a problem with that. But there's a problem with that. Well, hey, why is this going on with, customer service? Why is this going on with the supply chain? Why is this going on with him and her? And why is this going on with, there's always a problem with these people. They're not high performers, okay? So let me tell you something. High performers, let me ask you this. How many guys ever been about to do something big and for some reason everything starts going wrong? Your phone dies. You're about to do a presentation. You can't find the HDMI cord, okay? The TV's not working, okay? You lost the slides. Your computer starts restarting at the last minute, okay? You missed your flight on the way to an event, right? You're getting ready to speak and wait a minute, oh my goodness, you had some notes and you left those notes back in the hotel. I'm just giving examples. How many guys ever, you've seen things go wrong and you were forced to make a decision? You were gonna make the decision of, I'm gonna let this stop me. I'm not gonna move forward. I'm gonna panic. I don't know how to move forward. Or you know what, I got this. Somebody type, you know what, why don't we go ahead and say that in the chat box? Somebody type, I got this, right? That's a high performer. That's a high performance skill. I got this, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, no worries. I don't have slides. No problem. We can do the presentation in a park. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Everything's going wrong. Technological issues, technical difficulty, no problem. We'll get it done anyways. Oh, I'm not feeling the best. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. No problem. I'm going to get the job done anyways. Why? Because I got this. Somebody type, I got this in the chat box. Guys, you got to become very good as well at saying no, right, to things that are not worth your time and resources. Right? That's another thing when it comes to processing issues. Guys, let's move forward. Time management, less scrolling on social media. Don't sit listen, high performers are not going to be the ones that are just sitting and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for hours. They're going to do less consuming and more creating. They're going to do more selling. They're going to do more front end work, more filling the pipeline, more prospecting, more creating, more networking, developing new relationships. Okay. Listen, a high performer has the ability to take an hour-long appointment and crunch that thing down into 30 minutes, to be more efficient, to be effective without being eternal. Okay. A high performer is somebody who has the ability to take a 30-minute presentation and crunch it down to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They know how to give it visually. They know how to give it auditorially. They know how to talk to you in the store, in the line at the grocery store. They know how to talk to you in the Starbucks. They know how to talk to you when they meet you in the mall for the first time. It's a high performance. You got to manage your time, right? You got to know how to expand it, how to crunch it down, how to make it last. This is all a part of time management. Okay. How many guys seen somebody that don't know how to manage time? They do not know how to manage time. How many guys been around somebody like that? They talk too long when it's not appropriate. They were supposed to speak for 10 minutes and they took the hour. Okay. They were supposed to leave time for the other speaker and they just talked and talked and talked and talked. And they said, oh, wow, I lost track of time. Right. And they don't do it once. They always do that. Time management, ladies and gentlemen, is a skill that you must develop. How many guys know that their meetings always, if you go into that person's meeting, it's going to run long for sure. Right? Now, I grew up, I don't know if I should say that. Okay. I'll say this. How many guys have ever been to a church service and, maybe the pastor didn't know, maybe he needed to learn a little bit about time management, right? Y'all went all the way to 3 a.m. Right? I came up in that kind of church. We sometimes, we was in church at 6 p.m., wouldn't leave until 3 a.m. type of services. Okay. That's time management, ladies and gentlemen. Or maybe it was just the Holy Ghost. I don't know. Let's move forward. Okay. Money management, ladies and gentlemen, especially important when you're on limited resources. Okay. Money management is especially important when you're on limited resources. As an entrepreneur, as a business person, listen, you're going to need to be able to manage your money. Guys, I remember making, oh my goodness, I've made some bad decisions with my money. Okay. But you know what they say, to be good at something, you got to be bad first. And I will tell you that when you're going to perform at a high level, you've got to know what's coming in versus what's going out. You've got to know how to buy things at the right time. What am I talking about? Well, listen, if you know that $10,000, right? Just an example, if you know that a certain amount of money is going to be better for you in your business right now, maybe you ought to do that and make that stretch and make it last and go further, as opposed to actually buying a new car, as opposed to actually buying the Balenciaga. I know they're nice. I got some myself, but buying the new Balenciagas. Okay, maybe it would be smarter, ladies and gentlemen, that instead of getting that new jewelry, right, that you invested in yourself, that you took the time to actually go to an event, a seminar, buy some books, right? Invest in marketing materials, invest in your brand, as opposed to going out there and getting the new retro Jordans, as opposed to going out there and getting the new Louis belt, the Gucci belt, the Fendi, the Prada, right? Okay, you got to know how to manage that money. You got to make sure that you're not putting out more than what it is that you're bringing in. And if you don't look, this may be habitual and you don't even realize it. Okay. Moving forward, blissful dissatisfaction. What is blissful dissatisfaction? Living in a state of blissful dissatisfaction is being grateful for where we are, okay, while still actually being excited for where it is that we're going. Okay, blissful dissatisfaction is actually being grateful for what we have while in pursuit of what it is that we want. Does that make sense? Right? So that means that maybe I don't have the results that I have right now, but I'm not going to marry the result. I'm going to marry the process. I'm going to marry the lifestyle that it takes to get the lifestyle. I'm not going to fall in love with the end. I'm going to fall in love with what it is that I have to do at the beginning. Okay, because I know what it is that I do at the beginning will bring me what it is that I want at the end. Meaning, if I want to scale my business to a 7-figure business, okay, I work that back, I reverse engineer that, I look at my numbers, look at my DMOs, my daily methods of operation, and I'm looking at, okay, this is what I need to do. I know that if I do this, I will get that. So while I'm waiting for that, okay, listen, guys, patience, I like to say patience isn't just waiting. Patience is working while you're waiting. You're doing the work. You're putting in the numbers. You're filling the pipeline. You're doing the front end work, okay, to get the end result, right? I got to bring the word into it. I got to give y'all some word on this morning. We are ambassadors of the kingdom anyway. Philippians 4:7 says, in the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Why do I love that? Because the word says he'll give us a peace that surpasses all understanding. You can let go of the anxiety, right? You can relinquish the impatience, okay? You can let go of those negative feelings and you can move forward in peace in the midst of the storm, right? You take it back to Jesus when he was on the boat with the disciples. In the middle of the storm, he was sleeping. Why? Because he was at peace. Okay. Ephesians 3:20, our God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think. Why do I love that? Because we know that God is able. We know that it is possible. You look at that word impossible, it just spells I'm possible. Okay. You are possible. How many guys believe that you're possible? Type of AOTK in the chat box as we move forward. Guys, improvement is the final skill. Improvement in personal development. Okay. Are you improving on your brand? High performers are always thinking about how can I make it better? How can I improve? How can I get to the next level? Where can I fit more development in my schedule? How can I invest in they're in a rush to invest in themselves. They're in a rush to read the next book, to listen to the next audio. They're in a rush to be on calls like this. They're in a rush to do it. How can I get it done? How can I get better? How can I improve? It's got to be natural. It's got to be something that you want, not something that you have to do. Right? You should have an insatiable desire and a hunger to learn and grow. Right? How can I make my brand better? Right? How can I actually get better at my communication? How can I improve my product? How can I improve my team? What are their strengths and weaknesses? What are my strengths and weaknesses? Right? Working on your attitude, ladies and gentlemen. How's your attitude? Do you need to work on that? Right? Are you able to work with people twice your age? Are you able to work with people half your age? Right? How long are you going to say, I'm not tech savvy? How long are you going to say, oh, I don't know how to create content? How long are you going to say, oh, I don't know how to operate those softwares? When are you just going to improve? Okay. Do you need to get better at working with men, or do you just work with women? Do you need to get better at working with women, or is everybody around you and that you're working with a man? Okay. Books, ladies and gentlemen, are how you get the job done. Audios, calls like this, conferences, seminars. And guess what? At the end of the day, a high performer is always going to have the beginner's mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got some value, go ahead and type an AOTK in the chat box. Blow that up one time. Okay, if you're in the AOTK Discord server, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and blow the Discord server up with some AOTKs one time. Okay, but blow the Discord server up with some AOTKs one time, right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you got some value, you're on YouTube seeing the replay, please don't hesitate. Like, comment, share this out, right? Subscribe. Please help us grow the channel. Help us spread the message of kingdom principles, God principles, success principles. Our goal is to develop ambassadors of the kingdom and deploy them all across the world, right? The message is truly impact over income. The goal is to help impact people, to help grow people and develop people to achieve and accomplish and obtain all that God has for us. Okay. That being said, guys, last thing, if you got some value, go to my most recent Instagram post and type an ALTK in the comment section, right? Do that for me. And guys, I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed the time with you here today. Hopefully you have as well. We will be back next Saturday. Okay, next Saturday, 10 a.m. We will likely have a very special guest speaker that will be unveiled shortly. But I tell you guys what, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every single one of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. See you next time.